The third thing I've thought about doing, and you guys just saw my out-of-box review that was hastily done and horribly done in my opinion. I just had little or no time. Wanted to get it up before I went on vacation because I always put a video up every Friday. Didn't have the Stormtrooper quite done, so I couldn't make a video of him. I made that video for a reason. I'm thinking of building a Dreadnought version of the 1701. It's not completely the same. The engineering hull has a different shape. The pylons are triangular instead of rectangular. So they're much bigger pylons to hold the engines in. The engineering hull is much smaller because it's a warship, not an exploration ship. It uses the same saucer, and that's it. I'm not so sure about that one. It's the one I'd like to do. There's a lot of challenges with it because that kit did not have windows for lighting the nacelles. And you're aware of that. You've built a few. So I'd have to cut out and put some sort of insert for lighting the nacelles. The second challenge is that surface. It's not smooth. And you'd have to fill it all in and do all sorts of other stuff. Or I could lurk on eBay waiting for a smoothie kit. And waiting for a smoothie kit. And waiting for a smoothie kit. And then spend $100 on it. I'm not going to spend $100 on that. There's no aftermarket saucer. And if there was, it'd be solid resin. And you're not cutting it open to put lights in.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the other problem is the engineering hull is solid resin. So is the neck. So lighting that neck
is tough.
Yeah,
really
because that neck is about as thick as my phone right here. It is not very thick. So you'd have to drill a very thin hole all the way through the neck to even think about getting an LED in there.
No, it's too bad they didn't cast like a brass tube in there to help out or something to improve the stability. And
no, they weren't thinking about lighting when they made the kit for the engineering hole in the neck. But it has a full shuttle bay.
Right.
And the full shuttle bay is in many pieces, so I could light the shuttle bay with little or no trouble. So there's that one, and I haven't figured out if I'm going to do it or not. So one of those series coming up. I've got shelf queens out the rear. They need to be finished. But, you know, life gets in the way. 7-month-old baby. That is a very big time killer.
How have you found on, like, one of the things YouTube suggests is always having a consistent upload and meeting those deadlines. How has that been for you? Like you said, you like to do one every Friday, for example.
I build slow, but I detail the videos. So, like the Stormtrooper, that's going to be one video, but he only took like an hour to build.
Right.
So he's not taking up too much of my time. And he won't take up much video time. Now, the Brakiri Cruiser, I've only got half of it uploaded. I've recently found the other half of the videos on it. So that will be filler when I have no video to put up.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay. Now, if I were to put all my videos at once on a model build, this is what happens. If I put up one video a week, they get watched. If I put up one video a day, 5 minutes of the videos get watched. Maybe 2 minutes of the video gets watched. Because attention span, there's too many videos coming up by too many people.
Right, yeah.
Twice a week is usually about as much as I push it.
That's a good idea, actually. It's like with me and my channel, I've got 200 subscriptions or so, and they're pretty much all model focused. And when you even have, never mind just having off-topic stuff that most people probably do, when you have that much coming in, it's like, what does the title look like? Can I watch it? Do I not watch it? Do I catch a couple seconds?
That's my problem with the ones I've subscribed to, too. I've got maybe 20 minutes a day to watch videos with.
Yeah.
Maybe a half hour. So I sit down, and if you get a comment, I saw something worth commenting on. I watch a lot of videos and don't comment. I just don't have time. And I try to watch what I can. And that's what I think other people are doing with me.
Yeah.
I put a video up once a week, they're more inclined to sit down. I'm going to watch this.
That makes sense.
And that might be why I've got almost a 5-minute retention rate. Which is very abnormal for YouTube.
Yeah, you were saying in the video there.
The average retention rate on YouTube is like 30 seconds. A minute and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, look at what most people put on YouTube.
Yeah.
You're sitting at McDonald's and some girls are fighting, so you videotape it. Put it on YouTube.
Is that a text message or?
No, that's Twitter.
Oh.
That's related to work. That has nothing to do with what we're doing. And I should really just set the phone down over there and not check it. Unless the wife calls, that phone's sitting over there. Who is lost at the beach and trying to find her car. Wrong. That's a fib. She's not lost at the beach. She's 30-minute walk from her car. I'm sure she didn't lose the car.
Even the street traffic or this road sidewalk traffic is tough in this city.
Yeah, she's going to be a while to find it. So, not worried. But anyhow, guys, that comment back there about the wife, remember what I said? Don't lie to your wife. Don't lie on camera about the wife either. You will pay a price, a pretty severe one. That's why I was correcting myself for the record. She may never watch this video. It's too long. But just in case.
Just in case.
My conscience will be clear later tonight. And that is the important part. I can look her honestly in the eye.
Good idea.
Exactly. So, no lying. Mm-mm.
With your videos, how much time do you wind up spending in the editing phase of it all?
You know, that's something I keep meaning to make videos on. The tax thing, well, I took care of that with you today.
Yeah.
Video editing. Because I've heard a lot of complaints out of a lot of people about video editing. So I made this video,
Okay.
and I spend an hour and a half editing each video.
Yep.
So I keep meaning to make a video on this and put it up. When I download the video from the camera, dump it to the computer, I index all the files by date, and I write a little sentence about what each video clip means.
Yep.
With the video name, the file number on it, because I don't rename the files. That takes too much time.
Yeah.
Then later when I go to edit the videos, I already know what each clip is. So for like the hobby room updates, I start with the first hobby room update. I open it for the second one. I delete the video clips, put new video clips in, and just change the title.
Right.
And I've already got a list of what the clips represent. So I just pick them out and stick them in there. So it takes me like maybe 10 minutes
Well, that's a quick, easy way.
to edit the video together. Because I already know which clips I'm grabbing because they're already labeled. They're already labeled by subject. So under each date I have subheadings for subjects.
So then you don't go into a single clip and cut out like this
You notice today I keep starting and stopping the camera. Well, usually at the end of every clip I will put delete this clip. Don't use this. So I always play the last little bit of the clips when I'm indexing them, and I delete them. So the only ones I've kept are the ones I want to keep.
Right.
And I always start and stop the camera so I'm not doing a long, let's play this through for an hour and figure out where I want to cut it.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just let the camera roll, and if I, like, say, screw up a sentence that I'm trying to get across,
You'll just re-say it.
I'll just re-say it and then do a cut there later inside of the big
You
clip.
see that on a lot of YouTube channels where the person's jerking around but they got a smooth commentary.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're just cutting out, they're just stopping a sentence. Then they're stopping a sentence, and then they say it correct. And they get rid of the two stop the sentences
Yep.
in video editing. Not me, I just start over and delete the whole clip. So if I've got a 10-minute speech, I delete the 10-minute speech, the whole clip, and redo it. And what I've learned is that over time, so I did a 10-minute speech, the next time I redo it, it's 5.
Right, yeah. I've seen that too when I'm working.
It gets shorter. So it's better for them anyhow.
Yep,
And I wasted 10 minutes, but I'm not wasting any time editing.
that makes sense.
So when I dump the camera memory, there's 15 or 20 clips. But I just throw them out and weed them down to like 10.
What I'm wind up doing now is I'll do big master clips, then do a big dump at the end of the week or the end of the month, turn that all into a single timeline of 12 hours long,
Right.
sit through it, chop, 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 export that into another thing where I add the graphics, and that's all the same like you, where you're dropping things in.
Right.
Drop stuff in, put the new graphic on, change the length, make sure all that works. But even then, that has gotten so tedious for me that it's keeping me away from shooting any video in the first place.
And that's why I do what I do, because there's no tedium. The only tedium is indexing the clips.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it doesn't take that long, because I play the first bit of the clip to see what it is, fast forward to the end of the clip to see if I said delete. And if I said delete, well, I just delete it and go on to the next clip. So even then, it doesn't take that long.
It's not too bad a way of doing it.
Because I didn't want it to be tedious.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kills a lot of YouTube channels, is they realize it's work. And they're not sure how to do their video editing. Like those people with 200,000 subscribers where they're cutting all the time. You know they've got an hour-long video they're reducing down to 10 minutes. With all their retakes.
They're still getting lots of views at it, too.
Right. So, I would rather just make a long clip with no retakes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And just keep going until I get it right and just delete all the bad clips. You're still spending the same amount of time making the video. If you think about it.
Yep.
And the other problem is, and I'm sure you've encountered this, the way you do it, so you got an hour video, but you want to delete off certain sentences and stuff, you're going to forget where those were. That's why you have to play the entire clip.
Yeah, it is. In some cases, I can look at the audio track to see where all the waveform is happening, so I can go and make a slice here, slice there, so that helps out a lot in speeding things up.
Right.
Then I kind of do this for a living, so it's interfering with the career thing where it's the hobby thing, and once you mix those two, it gets tough to do either.
Right, I understand that. That's why I won't build models for commission.
Yeah.
I don't want to mix the two.
Yeah.
The YouTube thing where they pay me and I run around the country interviewing hobby shop people, I'm okay with that. Because that doesn't interfere with the hobby. It interferes with the vacation a little bit, but the wife sees the need.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but we can tax deduct. We actually take so much off our income at the end of the year. So it's like getting a little kickback saying, okay, part of the vacation was paid for.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I just pay the IRS a little bit less, which never makes me feel guilty. Because I don't care what your political... This is not politics. I don't care what your political spectrum is. We don't need to be paying them too much money.
Definitely not too much.
Not too much. Because they're going to abuse it. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, what. They're going to abuse it. They're politicians. Okay, now I'm bordering into politics, but I'm still being broad spectrum. We're stopping.
That's for another channel someday.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No more fiber optics, Kitty.
So, yeah, there he goes. He's taking a chomp. He's taking a chomp again.
See, these I did spray black beforehand. This was after I learned your idea.
Right. And you probably don't have any color bleed through them.
Nope. None at all.
So that works well.
And it tastes good, too, doesn't it?
I'm going to have to dump the video camera memory when we get home.
Yeah.
Back to the hotel room. Because we're making a long video.
You want a memory stick for the road or anything to help out? Or you bring a laptop with you?
We brought a laptop.
Okay.
Bought a laptop and brought a little connector thing so I can get... That uses an SD card. That uses compact flash. So I have to have an adapter that handles both, and I brought one. The little video camera uses SD card too.
Yeah. I haven't heard of compact flash in a while now.
Yeah, well, that's what they use. In fact, the professional grade cameras use these things.
Yeah.
Canon finally quit using these in their professional grade cameras. I think it was a complaint because they're getting too expensive. Since no one's using them, you were on the whole time. I bet that was a big complaint. They complained at me that I had that. Took that out while I was on. Yeah, why? They're the only thing that's using compact flash, so they got expensive. Now the newer Canons are using SD cards, which I wish. And this one will take a memory stick. This is one of the videos I want to make, so we're just throwing it in here. What do I use for video equipment? This is the first thing I bought when I first got onto... this isn't what I was using when I first got on YouTube. What was I using? I was using one of those all-in-one video cameras that came out years upon years ago when YouTube first started getting popular. Had a USB cable that came out of the video camera. It was just for video, and it was barely 720p, barely. And I bought it for like $100. And after using it for a while, everything was grainy on YouTube. I finally decided I'm going to get a real video camera. So I went and spent $600 on this thing. But the date on this thing, and I don't know if the date's on here. No, there's no date on here. The date on this was a good almost 10 years, I mean, not 10 years ago, good 5 or 6 years ago. This is when, 1080p video cameras first came out.
I see.
So it was going to be expensive. Now, you can get this camera for $150 now. This exact same camera on Amazon.
Yeah, this one here was like $300 or $400 or so.
Yeah.
Just last year, a year before, I forget when I got it.
No, it's Canon. You're going to pay a little bit more for a Canon than a Sony.
Yeah.
Okay, but Sony or Canon, they both make good video cameras. You're not going to go bad no matter which one. So there's no debating the brand there.
Yeah.
They're both good video cameras. This is a very good video camera for a family vacation.
Yeah,
Carrying it around. It's small, it's light, it's got one wicked optical zoom. So it's really, really good. My eyes are old, so I'm not going to read the model number off the bottom of this thing. Oh, it's HDR CX150. There you go. So you can look it up to your heart's content. If you want to start YouTube videos, this is a good camera. Really good. 1080p. You're probably going to pay $150 for it since it's so old. It has internal memory, or it'll take a memory card. I can pull the memory card off the back of this thing. It's SD, so you're not really hurting anything there, because SD is very common these days. So that's a good one to start with. For still photos, you saw me with this one earlier. You can see what it is. It's a 7D, Canon 7D. This was a whim. I was in Best Buy, saw it on sale. It was an open box item, even more. They price match at Amazon. So I paid almost nothing for this thing. Well, almost nothing when you're talking photography is a different story. It still wasn't cheap, but it's a really good camera. I don't do video with it. I've only shot video with it twice. One of the reasons I'm afraid to shoot video with it is focus. Do I have to manually focus, or will it autofocus? When I'm shooting video, if I turn this, I never see the focus ring moving. So
that'll be a matter of getting used to it and trying it out.
It would. And I know how fussy the focus can be on this camera.
Yeah.
That's why I just never shoot video with it, even though it can and will. Great photography camera. Low light does not phase it. I mean, really, I've got a short lens on it, a pancake lens, so to speak. And low light, almost.
Technically, you can plug those into a telescope and get some nice astronomy photos.
I have. I've put a video up of the moon I took with this camera on a telescope. I have a Celestron reflector telescope at home. I've got for really cheap.
Yeah.
And the video camera we're talking to right here, that's my main video camera. I don't carry it around much because it's not very portable. It's kind of large.
It looks it, yeah.
It's a semi-pro grade. It has removable lenses. I can take that lens off and change it for a different lens.
Nice.
Any of the Sony lenses will work for the A bodies and the E body cameras. Now, it won't motor focus, but you can buy an optional motor to control the lens. So I can use any camera lens on this that goes with the Sony DSLRs.
There's probably some adapter rings where you can throw your Canons on there too.
No, not Canons. Nikon.
Nikon. No.
I know they sell Nikon adapter rings, so I can use Nikon lenses on that, but not the Canon. But it has interchangeable lenses. It's got full manual control of everything, and I still don't know how to use any of that. But it takes wonderful video. That's one thing you'll notice if you get one of these. This is like 30 frames per second. That thing's 120 frames a second. So it makes a huge difference in the video quality.
I believe it.
And you can see it on YouTube. You can, if I interlace clips from this and this on YouTube, you'll be able to see it when the clips change. But that's why we do fades.
Yep.
You ever notice I do dissolve between each clip? Then you don't notice.